Hi everybody, it's Austin. I am at home and supposedly you are too still. I am here to talk about great genre-specific books that you can find in our library catalog and in our online collections that are just waiting for you to check them out. Today, I'm going to suggest some middle-grade realistic fantasy books. A quick note, by realistic fantasy, I mean that books take place in our world or a world similar to it, but with added elements of fantasy, like Harry Potter takes place in the United Kingdom, or Matilda is a realistic story about a girl who just happens to have magic powers. First, I have the Love, Sugar, Magic series by Meriano. So this follows Lenora, whose family owns a bakery where she helps bake for a number of different occasions. However, her family never lets her help prepare for the annual Day of the Dead festival. So she sneaks out of school one day with the intent of forcing her family to let her help, and she discovers that they are brujitas, witches. So she embarks on a quest to learn about her powers without letting her family know that she knows, though that might be harder than it sounds. This book is lighthearted, funny, it's a fast read, and it has a ready-to-read sequel. Next, I have The Wonder of Wildflowers by Staniszewski. In this world, magic is created by harvesting and processing wildflowers into a honey-like potion that they call amber. However, and this is where it gets interesting, only naturalized citizens can use it. So 10-year-old Myra is excited that her family is finally getting citizenship after 5 years in the country so that she can feel like she belongs at school and with her friends. However, a crisis is at hand that complicates her dream. This is a book about identity, home, community, and pretty obviously immigration. The concept of magic being a privilege of citizenship is super inventive and timely, and the author handles it very well. Next, I have Twist by Sarah Cannon. So imagine 3 friends. Eli writes stories, Nia draws monsters, and Court evidently has a magical power of some kind. Put them together and what do you get? A story full of monsters that come to life in the middle of our world. Can these friends survive their own stories? You'll have to read it to find out. This one is very plot-driven and the most action-y and adventurous of my recommendations this time around. So if that's your jam, then this is the one for you. Next, I have a quick shout out to All the Colors of Magic by Valija Zinck. Penelope was born with limp gray hair, the ability to predict whatever her mother will say next, and a curse of it always raining on her birthday. But one day, Penelope wakes up with bushy, glowing red hair that smells like a campfire and learns that her father is a wizard. And of course, that he is in grave danger. This one is a lighthearted adventure story about family and growing up with a lot of original fun ideas about magic. Finally, I have The Legend of Greg by Chris Rylander. This is actually the first in a trilogy that you can find called The Epic Series of Failures. Greg is an ordinary private school student in Chicago with an ordinary best friend and an ordinary dad who happens to like weird food and soap. His whole life turns upside down when he learns that he is descended from the magical dwarves of Norse mythology. One of his dad's teas awakens his magic powers, and magic takes off into the world again. But the history of the dwarves is one epic series of failures. But maybe he can be the one to finally succeed. Those are my recommendations for middle grade realistic fantasy books. To place holds for any of these books or any others in our catalog, check out our website at dtdl.org. You can also check out our new BookMatch service, where you answer questions about your reading interests and we provide you with curated recommendations. Thanks guys, keep reading and I'll see you next time.